Hi, I'm Lisa Lockwood, your guest host today on West Coast Weekly. I'm excited to share our upcoming guests with you today. We have 10-time overall bodybuilding champion Lauren Powers, who will be hosting the world's bodybuilding fitness event in Orange County this year. Lauren is also an actress and Hollywood's go-to lady when they're looking for a ripped female bodybuilder. She has had the pleasure of working with Lady Gaga, Nick Jonas, and Seth Rogen, just to name a few of the many celebrities she's worked with. We'll be discussing her upcoming book, Beneath the Muscle. And then later in the show, we have JoJo Romeo. Whether she's selling luxury real estate or starring on Bravo's hit TV show, Real Estate Wars, she inspires many with her business savvy. JoJo Romeo has sold nearly $500 million in real estate since 2011, while juggling single motherhood of 5 children, ranging from ages 11 to 25. We have an exciting show for you today, and first up is Lauren Powers. Welcome to the show, Lauren.
Thank you, Lisa. Happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. You have one of the most compelling reinvention stories that I have ever heard. You have, not only are you in the media all the time, your expertise is bodybuilding, but what got you to bodybuilding is a very interesting story. Would you mind sharing that with our viewers today?
Well, where do we start? I've been an athlete basically my whole life, from being a professional skateboarder to a surfing instructor in Maui for numerous years. But then I became a firefighter. So I was a firefighter engineer. Had a little issue there with being female. They thought I wasn't strong enough, so hello, I showed them.
Incredible.
So from that story, I was launched right into the fitness industry and became the celebrity bodybuilder like overnight. Started going on TV shows and really promoting the sport. And all the way to competing, as you mentioned earlier, I've got 10 overall championships under my belt.
Yes.
I've been a little busy.
Incredible.
Well, I won a show when I was 40 and at the famous Muscle Beach, and then a decade later, I won the overall title again. So from 40 to 50.
Incredible.
Yeah, so that was kind of a big deal. I was very proud of that. And
as you should be.
Yeah, thanks. So I went from competitor now to promoter of the sport.
And being a promoter is what exactly? Because I see your shirt here, Lauren Powers Classic.
Yes, well now I actually am the proud presenter and promoter for USA, representing our country. As you mentioned, also I'll be hosting the World Championships this year in Huntington Beach, California, which is a huge deal because I have 30 countries coming from all over the world to step on my stage to compete on our soil here in America against our athletes here. So this year I'm really working hard to get athletes at that level to represent again. It's kind of like the Olympics for fitness.
It is, and that says a lot about you and your career and where you've taken the bodybuilding industry. To have them choose you to host the world's events in Huntington Beach, which is where you grew up. You were born and raised. So
Huntington Beach High School.
It's coming full circle.
It is. It's like Celebrity Girl comes back home, and
that's
so
fantastic.
it's exciting. I've got a number of shows this year that I'll be qualifying athletes to get ready for the Worlds.
Okay.
So it's exciting. I'll be going to Australia. I'll be going to Singapore, taking a team of our competitors overseas.
You don't stop. And on the side, you're writing your book.
People always ask me, when do you sleep? I'm like, sleep? What is that? Well, I'm excited. I have such passion for what I do.
Yes.
And right now, I mean, since I was an athlete, I'm known as the athlete that gives back, an athlete for the athlete. And the show that actually is for the competitors.
Yes.
And it's, you know, it's a movement that I've created, and it feels good. It's rewarding because I'm against, you know, some other companies out there that do what I do.
Sure.
But I do everything different.
Different in regards to, you're very concerned about the athlete. You're making sure people are doing things healthy.
Correct.
Which has to happen in the industry.
It does.
Anti-steroids and that sort of thing. So let me ask you this. I know that you've been penning your book for over a year now. It's called Beneath the Muscle.
It is.
And the story that you want to tell is what?
Well, it's basically my life story through my different experiences, and it's triumphs over tragedies.
Yes.
And just through inspiring and motivating other people to see that just if one thing doesn't work out, you figure how to make something else work.
Sure.
Kind of like you said, reinvention. Kind of like Madonna. She's one of my role models.
Right.
She just keeps reinventing herself, and we keep watching. And
in order to continue to be relevant.
Exactly.
And you've watched your career and reinventions over and over and over again.
Over and over again.
So if people are looking to find out more about you, where would they go?
Well, my website, laurenpowers.com,
okay,
is a huge platform, and then it has all my social media links on there, from Facebook,
right,
Twitter, of course, Instagram. all the social media pictures, my daily life's on there. I'll be hosting Facebook Live shows once a week now, just giving information to competitors and my fans out there what's going on in my life personally,
right?
And then how to get involved with the competition world, because it's a very growing sport. A lot of these, especially men and women, they want to get on stage and just kind of show off their hard work and their journey.
Absolutely.
So I give them the stage to do so, and it's been an undertaking. But
and even though you're not competing, you're still the model for the industry. So you've been able to maintain this.
Hello.
And I also know that you don't drink alcohol, so you've lived a very clean life for many years.
23 years now.
23 years.
Yes.
And that's
I'm proud of that too. It's supposed to be anonymous, but I like to be a role model for for people that they can do it too. So I'm all about women's empowerment. I'm involved with many, different women's groups and supporting other women and networking and businesses, and because it's tough sometimes to be an entrepreneur when you're out there by yourself.
Absolutely.
And in a man's world. I've been in a man's world forever. The firefighting, all of it. It's
over the years too, you've had to withstand some quasi-bullying or having success, and that's referenced in your book as well. Because
it is.
I know the whole idea of that is to share your journey. To let people know what you had gone through and some of the strategies that you used in order to persevere. So we're really looking forward to you sharing that. So we've got a couple of awesome things happening. You've got the world events. You have your events that happen all year long. You've got a book that's about to be released that people can also pre-order that, I understand.
They can on my website.
So if they go to laurenpowers.com, they'll have an opportunity to go ahead and...
It's called Beneath the Muscle, Unleash Your Inner Champion.
That's fantastic,
I'm all about
Lauren.
championships.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
And we'll be right back with more West Coast Weekly.
Probably 10, 12 years ago, I have some art back there, and I had a total 5-way bypass, and they said, don't be around those solvents. Because what makes color fusion is that I use aircraft paint, car paint, house paint and stuff. And I use 11 different solvents, so I can make one paint flow just to the other one, but not into it. Or I can use a different solvent and it will flow into the other one and just they'll merge. I think the biggest thing was that I was an entrepreneur as even a 12-year-old kid.
Really?
Yes. I was making bombs.
Oh dear.
And blowing up farmers' old barn houses.
Okay.
These were old barns that they couldn't use anymore, and yet they couldn't get insurance for them unless they just disappeared or caught fire or something. So on the way to Sunday school, we would always blow up a barn or two, and we'd get $25. And assume this is the end of the corner of the barn, and boom, it blew my left eye out. And I have pictures when I was just a little kid and pictures now where this eye is gone. Mm-hmm. This eye was also gone. It was all black. I couldn't see anything. But the doctors took a look at this and said it's gone. Lenses cracked and retina's gone and everything. You'll have no sight there ever. This eye, they said, well, it may come back, but you just damaged it. Well, for a week it was black, and then another week it was gray, and then another week it was kind of black and gray, and then pretty soon the color started coming back. And when that color came back, it was like a gift from God. And I mean, and I always looked at it that way. That was a blessing. So, everything about color has been fantasy for me.
Parent, I really hope to speak to you if you have a son or daughter in high school. I don't need to tell you how bright and talented they are. You witness that throughout their lives. But have you ever thought that maybe your son and daughter are gifted enough that they could be earning an incredible salary without ever having to go to college? In Bob Walter's book, Facing Reality in American Education, his heart's desire is for each child to be looked at individually, not as a group, and so discovering ways to help them achieve as quickly as they can. Because it's no secret, they are truly gifted. Don't you agree? Buy it today. There's nothing that can bring more joy than a young boy or girl smiling or laughing so loud they can't stop. At ilovemybears.com, we love to see that, and we're so thankful that we get to hear the reports of these little ones loving their newfound friend. I love my bears, soft, cuddly, and to top it all off, made one at a time by master seamstress Patricia Haynes. Go to ilovemybears.com and get your bundle of joy today. Not only will you be happy you did, but watch the smile of your little one the first time they get to hug their very own.
Hi, my name's Tom Julian, the author of The Shepherd. You know, there's hundreds of thousands of people who have felt like the title character of The Shepherd, Tony Castanelli. Alone, no family to count on, friends are becoming few and far between. But God has a way of looking down on those lonely hearts and somehow in His own beautiful way bring people into our lives who can help us find the direction and purpose that we all need and the happiness we all desire. This is that story. It's a simple read, but it's an inspiring moment. Buy yours today.
Many of us know that high school today is not the same as high school in the 60s, 70s, etc. Pressure to achieve, the competitiveness, the anxiety to fit in, and the loneliness has made being a teenager a pretty tough job today. In Bob Walter's new book, Facing Reality in American Education, he looks at ways to help these young people understand just how amazing they really are and for the students to know that their gifts are theirs alone and they are created with those gifts to excel and be all that they can be. I'm sure you agree. Pick up your copy today. There's nothing that can bring more joy than a young boy or girl smiling or laughing so loud they can't stop. At ilovemybears.com, we love to see that, and we're so thankful that we get to hear the reports of these little ones loving their newfound friend. I love my bears, soft, cuddly, and to top it all off, made one at a time by master seamstress Patricia Haynes. Go to ilovemybears.com and get your bundle of joy today. Not only will you be happy you did, but watch the smile of your little one the first time they get to hug their very own.
Hi, my name's Tom Julian, the author of The Shepherd. You know, there's hundreds of thousands of people who have felt like the title character of The Shepherd, Tony Castanelli. Alone, no family to count on, friends are becoming few and far between. But God has a way of looking down on those lonely hearts and somehow in His own beautiful way bring people into our lives who can help us find the direction and purpose that we all need and the happiness we all desire. This is that story. It's a simple read, but it's an inspiring moment. Buy yours today.
Hi, welcome back, everybody. I'm so excited for you to meet this incredible lady sitting next to me, JoJo Romeo, the star of Real Estate Wars on Bravo. Remember I mentioned earlier she sold over $500 million in real estate since 2011. Who does that? With 5 children. Welcome to the show, JoJo.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
I'm one of 7 kids, and all my mom could do was raise us. That was it. Yeah. Dad was working, she was raising us. You're juggling motherhood, real estate, and you have success at this level, which is incredible. If you could just share with our viewers some of the characteristics that it takes to get to the level that you have.
Sure. Well, obviously, it's going to take a great work ethic.
Yes.
And in this industry, it's 24/7, so you have to be on because you never know when things are going to happen, when that deal's going to come.
It's not a 9 to 5 like everybody else,
no.
which makes it even more intense.
Exactly.
Because
you do get a little flexibility, right? So I love that because I could still hit the kids' games or get somebody to practice or juggle that. However, I always have my phone. I'm always ready to go. I've got my computer. I'm ready to write up an offer at any given time.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. So you still can attend the events and things that you need to do for your children and cooking, laundry, or did you leverage that out?
Yeah, actually, I have a wonderful nanny that I've had for many, many years.
Thank goodness.
Because I can't do those things. But I think definitely it starts with work ethic. I think one of the other very important characteristics in this business is integrity.
Right.
I definitely am an agent. I tell it like it is. I give it to him straight, but I do it with a big heart and with the best intentions in mind to get them the best results. So I think that's really important. And then finally, I think that empathy is probably the most important characteristic because, and I think this is actually what diversifies me from most agents, is because you really have to. This is their home. This is likely their biggest asset, right? Right? They have memories and heartache and everything in this home, right? So you have to really figure out what is their motivation. Why are they moving? I don't just care about why they're selling. I care about where they land.
Sure.
So once you really embody their situation and that, okay, now I know why they're moving. Now I know what we have to do. And then really take that into consideration, and then be super mindful of getting that property, I'm really into energy.
Nice.
And so shifting the energy in that home and with the sellers so that we can get the best result. And so that means, like, again, getting in their home and
Right.
feeling, what we need to change. And if that means staging or clearing the energy.
And that's what differentiates you from everybody else,
Yes.
because it's not just to get in and make a deal and end the story there. When you talked about empathy, and that comes across in real estate wars, it definitely comes across that you are the person who cares
Thank you.
about the client.
Thank you.
And I think probably a lot of that has to do with the fact that you're a mother.
Oh, yes.
You've developed that. You have an idea of what compassion is, so you're
Mm-hmm.
able to meet them eye to eye and work with them. And I would imagine that that's probably one of the biggest assets that allowed you to have the success that you do have.
Absolutely, bar none. Because I really care. I truly
course.
care. I just want to put a sign in the yard and sell it. It's so much more than that, and that's why I love my job.
Right.
Because to be able to help someone buy their dream home and experience that with them
Yes.
is so great. It's so amazing.
Incredibly rewarding.
And it's really hard too sometimes. I'll tell you, I'm going to write a book one day
You
about
should.
some of the crazy experiences I've had.
Well, one of the things that I know that happens in the industry, and if it's not a male-dominated type of industry anymore, because obviously there are a lot of women out there, it becomes their second career and they've reinvented themselves. But you still have to deal with that. You have to deal with people who are not in integrity and they are cutthroat. What's your strategy for that?
So fortunately, I'm very intuitive, so I could usually pick up on that right away. And sometimes, I get to choose who my clients are and who they aren't. However, in many cases, like with buyers, I don't get to choose, and so I have to struggle with that sometimes. And I'm sure you saw a couple of the segments on the show where I was dealing with people without integrity, and so.
Yes.
But I look at all of those situations as opportunities for growth.
Yes.
So instead of just thinking
Having a meltdown.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
I just go, okay, what's my opportunity for growth here? And inevitably, there's always a silver lining, even with the negative situations.
What I liked what you said earlier is you trust your energy, which is your intuition.
Yes.
And what I've heard Oprah say is that intuition is God's whisper.
Yes.
That's actually coming from God, who's saying, you know what, just trust that, the
Yes.
gut instinct, etc.
Absolutely.
And you've had that, and you developed that in order for you to get through. I mean, it's not easy to snap back into once you felt that you've been betrayed or
Right.
something like that in the industry, especially on your television program. It happens left and right.
Yes.
I need to ask you another thing, because you said you need to, your ability to juggle that. So not only are you a real estate agent, you're also doing the show, and you're raising 5 children.
Yes.
When do you have time for you?
Yeah, it's definitely challenging, but I make it a point to meditate every day. And so if I have to get up earlier, just to have 20 to 30 minutes to just be still.
Yes.
And to be silent and get into that space, because when I don't do it, believe me, I feel it. And so, and I try and work out a couple days a week at least, but so it's super important.
Starting your day with that formula.
Yes.
You know, people will go to prayer and talk to God and,
Yes.
get themselves centered.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Have to have it.
I just want to thank you so much for joining us
Of
today.
course,
All of your
of
tips are
course.
amazing.
Thank you.
And I wish you continued success, JoJo.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is good fortune. I've been very fortunate, but a lot of it is, like Woody Allen said, it's showing up. I mean, you kind of have to keep trying, keep putting yourself in a position where you can get work, keep working at your craft. I mean, in the old days, the path to being an actor was theater. You know, you do as many plays as you can and hope somebody comes to see you. It's a little different now. Now I think the path to being an actor is YouTube. Sure, you got to just keep working at it and moving forward and try to find a way to not let all the no's discourage you. And once you sort of get established, the challenge shifts. Then it becomes like, you're trying to get people to see you that you're not just this one thing.
Right.
I mean, like after Fried Green Tomatoes, it was all wife beaters and stuff for like 2 or 3 years. I kept saying, you know,
Right.
my agent were like, what kind of a part do you want? And I said, I just want a part where I kiss a girl and she likes it. I've been kicking them downstairs. I've been burying them in mine shafts.
Yeah.
So yeah, the challenge just shifts and becomes different. You know, I just finished a movie with Sam Rockwell called Best of Enemies, and we had such a ball. I mean, we laughed so hard because it was one of those movies where we're sitting around a lot. So there's a lot of downtime where we're kind of having to be there, but we don't have much to do. So we were cracking each other up quite a bit. But probably one of the funniest stories is from Justified. Tim Oliphant, who most of my scenes were with Tim, and you know, we had a pretty good time together, but there was one day on the set that I had my phone in my pocket, and you know, it's one of these scenes where I'm walking in and out of the office, and something happened and brushed my phone, and the Rush Limbaugh show started playing on my phone in the middle of the scene. And Oliphant goes, oh my God, now we've got Rush Limbaugh on the show. And I go, hey, how do you know who Rush Limbaugh is? I wasn't outed because everybody knew what I was, but and Oliphant's not outed because I think he knows who Rush Limbaugh is. Doesn't mean he listens to him every day. But, no, but that was pretty fun. But we had a great time on that show.
Parent, I really hope to speak to you if you have a son or daughter in high school. I don't need to tell you how bright and talented they are. You witness that throughout their lives. But have you ever thought that maybe your son and daughter are gifted enough that they could be earning an incredible salary without ever having to go to college? In Bob Walter's book, Facing Reality in American Education, his heart's desire is for each child to be looked at individually, not as a group, and so discovering ways to help them achieve as quickly as they can. Because it's no secret, they are truly gifted. Don't you agree? Buy it today. There's nothing that can bring more joy than a young boy or girl smiling or laughing so loud they can't stop. At ilovemybears.com, we love to see that, and we're so thankful that we get to hear the reports of these little ones loving their newfound friend. I love my bears, soft, cuddly, and to top it all off, made one at a time by master seamstress Patricia Haynes. Go to ilovemybears.com and get your bundle of joy today. Not only will you be happy you did, but watch the smile of your little one the first time they get to hug their very own.
Hi, my name is Tom Julian, the author of The Shepherd. You know, there's hundreds of thousands of people who have felt like the title character of The Shepherd, Tony Castanelli. Alone, no family to count on, friends are becoming few and far between. But God has a way of looking down on those lonely hearts and somehow in His own beautiful way bring people into our lives who can help us find the direction and purpose that we all need and the happiness we all desire. This is that story. It's a simple read, but it's an inspiring moment. Buy yours today.
Many of us know that high school today is not the same as high school in the 60s, 70s, etc. Pressure to achieve, the competitiveness, the anxiety to fit in, and the loneliness has made being a teenager a pretty tough job today. In Bob Walter's new book, Facing Reality in American Education, he looks at ways to help these young people understand just how amazing they really are and for the students to know that their gifts are theirs alone and they are created with those gifts to excel and be all that they can be. I'm sure you agree. Pick up your copy today. There's nothing that can bring more joy than a young boy or girl smiling or laughing so loud they can't stop. At ilovemybears.com, we love to see that, and we're so thankful that we get to hear the reports of these little ones loving their newfound friend. I love my bears, soft, cuddly, and to top it all off, made one at a time by master seamstress Patricia Haynes. Go to ilovemybears.com and get your bundle of joy today. Not only will you be happy you did, but watch the smile of your little one the first time they get to hug their very own.
Hi, my name is Tom Julian, the author of The Shepherd. You know, there's hundreds of thousands of people who have felt like the title character of The Shepherd, Tony Castanelli. Alone, no family to count on, friends are becoming few and far between. But God has a way of looking down on those lonely hearts and somehow in His own beautiful way bring people into our lives who can help us find the direction and purpose that we all need and the happiness we all desire. This is that story. It's a simple read, but it's an inspiring moment. Buy yours today.
Parent, I really hope to speak to you if you have a son or daughter in high school. I don't need to tell you how bright and talented they are. You witness that throughout their lives. But have you ever thought that maybe your son and daughter are gifted enough that they could be earning an incredible salary without ever having to go to college? In Bob Walter's book, Facing Reality in American Education, his heart's desire is for each child to be looked at individually, not as a group, and so discovering ways to help them achieve as quickly as they can. Because it's no secret, they are truly gifted. Don't you agree? Buy it today.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Lisa Lockwood, your guest host today on West Coast Weekly. We've got a surprise guest for you today. And you're going to be excited about this because Tanitha, who you're about to meet, is creating a television show that's a little different than your normal real estate. Her specialty is also helping you learn about the community, specifically in Orange County, taking you through the entire process of learning about the neighborhood and also possibly doing a complete renovation. Tanitha, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
I love the fact that you've got this new edge where you're actually going and possibly renovating. And I know people are going to love that and also learning about the community. Tell me how you started that.
Well, Tanitha Talks is going to be more about just real estate as a whole. People sometimes look at real estate as just buying and selling.
Right.
I'm looking at it more as a community aspect. So I want to be able to bring everyone into the community, show them different elements of the community, but then also set them up with contractors that they might need. People buy a home and they wonder, well, who do I go to? You know, who do I call? Who does my photography? Who is going to be somebody that, you know, will replace doors and windows? Who's going to be somebody where they can paint the property? You know, whatever the aspects are of the home.
One-stop shop so they can feel at peace. Once they get into their new place, now we can get renovations, doors and windows.
Yes.
And you brought some people here today.
I sure
We'd
did.
love to meet them.
Yes, I brought Samson Window and Door, and they're here to tell us a little bit more about their company and what they have to offer.
Welcome to the show, gentlemen. I'm happy to have you here. So when you get into a home and actually start the process, what are the two factors that are the most important in making an assessment or judgment on windows and doors?
Architectural style.
Okay.
And what the client is looking for.
Right.
The initial consultation is very important. We try to tailor each job to the particular client's taste and their architectural style of their home.
So I would imagine that it's a very broad range, because I would imagine there's different levels, obviously, based on their budget, but then also the style of it.
Yes.
That's correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. So you're going to be working with Tanitha and helping
Yes.
people get into their homes and do the assessment for them. It's wonderful that you're able to build that relationship with them.
Yeah, I think it's really important to bring contractors such as Samson Door and Window in, because everybody calls me after they close escrow on a property and they say, okay, Tanitha, we want to do the following.
Sure.
Who should we call? So I'm kind of like that. I'm almost like the Yellow Pages.
Yeah.
So,
And people are lost, especially when they're in a new neighborhood and they want somebody that is highly recommended.
Exactly.
Because it's your image, it's based on your credibility on who you refer.
and
So
somebody just being reliable.
yes, I look forward to your show. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us today, and we look forward to seeing Tanitha Talks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.